Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp. Good morning.
Woo. Good morning. Good.
Ooh, hi, Jenny.
Good morning.
Man, what a day it was in the NFL yesterday. Antonio Brown and Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers and Kyler versus Lamar and Patrick Mahomes and Eagles lose. And how about them Cowboys? How about that Dak Prescott? I don't know.
They ain't play nobody. They ain't play anyone. They did not play anyone. They did not play anyone.
We'll talk about that in just a couple of minutes.
All of them in the same boat. Dolphins, Giants,
Okay.
Washington.
And I want to wish you good luck today because you're going to need it.
For
what?
Around for this thing.
My team won.
We have a lot to get to. I love Monday shows. What has Dak proven to Skip and this guy, Shannon, and who is to blame for the Eagles' loss last night? Yep, Shannon, we'll go there. We're going to start, though, with the Patriots. Antonio Brown looked impressive on the field in his Patriots debut after only practicing a few days with his new team. Tom Brady didn't waste any time getting his new target involved, hitting the receiver 4 times in the first half. AB ended up with 56 yards and a touchdown. And after the game, Belichick and Brady said it was a good start with Brown. Take a listen.
We'll take a look at it on the film. I mean, it's 1 week. There's a lot of things we can work on. But it's good to have him out there. We run the offense, try to throw the ball to guys open, Ben. Haven't changed that in 20 years.
It's a good start. I just was trying to find an open guy, and he, was snapping off some routes and did a great job. So it was good to find him. Everyone contributed.
Shannon, are you surprised AB played that quickly and that much?
No, Skip, once the NFL didn't stand up, we knew the Pats wouldn't stand down. AB went through. Look, they signed the guy an hour after he got released. So that told you what they thought of his talent. And we all know the reason why AB is on this roster is because he's extremely talented, Skip. Yeah, he had some issues about blending in the team concept and making it all about himself. But that doesn't take away his ability to play. He's still an electric, bona fide, top threat receiver. And the guy practiced all week. And the one thing that we know about the Patriots, Skip, if you practice, they expect you to play. And not only play, they expect you to play well. Now, I am not buying Coach Belichick and Tom Brady. Antonio Brown played 24 snaps. They only had 72 total snaps. So he played about a third. On a third of those plays that he played, they threw him the ball. Or they threw the ball in his direction. So they made a conscious and a concerted effort to try to get him involved. Now, they're not where they need to be just yet because they missed some throws, but I believe in time this is going to be a top-notch connection. Skip, Tom has never had a receiver with this kind of quickness that plays a lot outside the numbers. Now, Randy Moss had more deep speed, but Randy couldn't get in and out of breaks like this guy can.
Nope.
This guy has slot receiver ability, but he plays outside the number. And Tom hasn't played with anyone like that. He gets on guys so quick, Tom is like, okay, he's going to be even with him. I'll back shoulder him. He's going to be right there. So it's kind of hard to back shoulder somebody when you're on top of them. If you notice, Aaron, a lot of these guys, when they throw the back shoulder skip, the DB is even with the receiver. He just opens up. It's kind of hard to open up when the DB is behind you. That's something they're going to
Like
work.
when Dak throws his deep balls, you can see that a lot.
This is not a Dak conversation. We'll talk about him later.
Yet.
We're talking about great deep ball throwers.
He'll come in later. I'm not worried.
But eventually, through practice and in games, AB and Tom Brady will get on the same page unless something the NFL steps in and intervene that could possibly derail this. But I believe they'll be working extra, Skip. They'll spend a little extra time after practice. They'll spend time in meetings. They'll talk to this like, well, I want you to run it like this. Because like I said, Skip, he's never had anyone like this. This guy is electric. This guy has dynamic. He's a returner. So Edelman's a returner, but Edelman exclusively played in between the hashes, in between the numbers. AB plays outside the numbers, but he has Edelman-type quickness. So he's in and out of those breaks a lot quicker than Tom Brady is used to. But I thought they made an effort to get him the ball yesterday. He didn't disappoint. He let people know that, hey, I'm still AB, and I got a quarterback now that's going to give me the ball, and I can do dynamic things with the ball. So I'm not surprised that he played. I'm not surprised that he played well because we knew, Skip, once the NFL didn't intervene, the Patriots were not going to intervene. And so he played, and he did a great job.
Yet I thought Friday you told me you thought they would ease him in.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have a whole lot of impact, right?
I thought he'd have 3 or 4 catches. He had 4 catches. You did say you think he'd have a touchdown. I didn't think he'd have a touchdown. I didn't think they were going to throw him the ball, like that in the red zone. But I'm not surprised, Skip. You don't put a guy out there. Coach Belichick, you know this about the Patriots, Skip. If you play, they expect, if you practice during the course of the week, they expect you to play, and they expect you to play well. And he did.
Okay. I saw it completely differently than you did. Obviously, I was having to watch 2 games at once, and when one of those games involves the Cowboys and the Redskins, it's hard for me to focus on
that has
the
all
other
your
game.
attention.
Yes, it does. But I had half an eye on the top TV, and I got to tell you, I was stunned and I was amazed at just how brazen Bill Belichick was yesterday. To me, when I glanced up on the second play of the game and saw AB running in, it looked like he had a smile on his face. I couldn't see under his helmet exactly, but I'm sure he was smiling inside.
Sure.
To me, that was Bill Belichick waving his middle finger at the National Football League.
Everybody.
Everybody. That was Bill Belichick saying, oh, so you think because of this lawsuit I'm not going to play him? Or you think I'm just going to ease him into what should be a blowout for us, maybe give him a couple snaps in the third quarter and 3 or 4 in the fourth? Nope. Watch this, said Bill Belichick to the National Football League. He always has to be the smartest man in the room. He always has to show you, if you don't think he can do it, watch how he does it. And now, technically, he can say, well, I didn't start him because he didn't play in the first snap. And they handed the ball to Sony Michel for 3 big yards. And here he came, trotting on the field. And now it's 2nd and 7 at the 43. He was punished for 1 play. And 2nd and 7 at the 43. And Tom Brady rises up and throws it to Antonio Brown for 18 yards. And I'm falling off my chair. And now I'm completely distracted from what's going on the bottom TV, which is the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins. Then 2 plays later, Tom Brady looks to throw again for a second time in the game, and he hits Antonio Brown. Or should I call him Antonio Moss? Because I think he's turning into Antonio Moss. That was for 8 yards. Then 2 more plays pass, and he looks again to throw to Antonio Brown. He hits him 3 times in the first drive, and actually he threw a 4th pass in his direction, and Minkah Fitzpatrick was called for holding Antonio Brown. So they're actually technically 4 targets in the opening drive, which ended in a short Sony Michel touchdown from a yard away. So, silly me, on Friday, I predicted he would catch 3 balls for 30 yards. And in the opening drive, he had 3 for 36.
Yeah.
And then a little later in the game, Tom made sure that he got AB a touchdown. And obviously, it was a homecoming for AB because he grew up in Miami. They were back in Miami. And even though this was just the equivalent of a scrimmage, like a practice game, right?
Skip, it's a shame.
It's just a shame. In your life, in your career, in all your time around the NFL, have you ever seen a team that looks this woeful this quickly?
No.
Because sometimes at the end of the year, you see teams just fall completely apart. But this is a disaster.
You Skip, sometimes you like, after you lose a couple of heartbreaking games late in the year, you're like, I'm ready to just go home.
Sure.
But to start the season, like, guys just, I don't want to be here. I hate it here.
It's not good.
Wow.
I want to get out of here. Trade me.
It's a long
The
season.
season just started.
It's a long one.
So, given all that, you would think, look, think about this. Step back from it. This is a New England team that completely dismantled the Pittsburgh Steelers in their opener on last Sunday night.
Correct.
It was 30-3. So did this team look like it needed Antonio Brown?
No.
Obviously, it did not. Did this team at all need Antonio Brown to beat that team yesterday?
No.
No, it didn't need him at all. So I stand by what I said last week. I thought it was incumbent upon the Patriots to at least say, we're going to keep him on ice for 1 week. Because you could do that easily. You could justify it, say we need another week of
100%.
practice.
Yeah.
Let's just wait and see, because obviously Robert Kraft knew by Friday or so that they were going to interview the accuser today, the NFL is, and the process would start now.
Correct.
Okay? So you could at least say, let's kind of wait and see what feedback we get from the home office, from Commissioner Goodell to Robert Kraft. Obviously, they're very close.
Right.
And he could say, well, we think this or we think that.
Right.
And you would have a little better read on the situation instead of flying blind on it right now, going into your second game of the year, a game that you were favored to win by 18.5 points. Now, to me, I stand by what I also said last week. If I had been Robert Kraft, and it was reported over the weekend, if Robert Kraft had known about the civil case filed against Antonio, he would not have signed him. Well, if that's the case,
I don't believe that.
Okay, well,
once you find out, you can still.
It's easy to say now. I agree.
You still can release him.
Okay, you could, and I stand by what I said last week. I would have released him as soon as it got filed. And again, that doesn't mean that Antonio's guilty as accused.
Right.
I'm just saying it's one thing on top of a whole year's worth of incidents in which Robert Kraft could say, you know what? This is just too much of a distraction for my football team. We're going to go in a separate way. And several reports said he could have gotten out from under it's about $10 million that they would have owed him in guaranteed money as Oakland got out of the guarantee that they owed him.
Correct.
Right? So I stand by, I wish they had gone in that direction. I also stand by this. I picked the Patriots before the season started, without Antonio Brown, obviously. I don't have nearly as much confidence in my pick with Antonio. And I agree with you. He is an electric player. And furthermore, and further complicating the decision-making here, he is a legendary, great